All right, guys, welcome back. This is episode 13. Thank you for joining us. Before we get started, make sure that you like, comment, click subscribe, and make sure you get that notification bell. I think I covered everything.
You got
Yay.
it. You got
Perfect.
it.
Thank you. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Actually, it's bright and sunny. It's
This
starting
is
to
your
warm
weather.
up a little bit.
Mhm.
I feel flourishing. And it's almost Gemini season. And I'm
Look
an
at
act fool. I want y'all to know.
She's been counting down. I saw your post the other day. I said, "Oh, we are not going to survive."
It's my time.
Perfect. I know you're all dressed for it. Like, look at that. I'm
telling
cold
you.
too. I don't know.
It's
So,
here.
Enjoy it. So, this is your season. You have, a few weeks to enjoy it. So I hope you do. We'll be outside. Feel free to make sure y'all see our pictures so we'll be acting a fool because I think we officially hit the 2 week mark of being fully vaccinated. So
Yes.
it's real now.
Mm-hmm.
We in these streets.
So my mom knows she can watch these kids. Thanks.
Expeditiously. Perfect. So today we have a guest, and we're so
Yes.
excited. I know you see her as gorgeous as she is, looking like
Absolutely.
she's been tanning or in the sun, something. And I'm just like, oh, the melanin is popping on that other side of the wall, imaginary wall here. Today we have Miss Niema as a Golphin. I want to say it right. Golphin?
Golphin.
Golphin.
Okay.
Long vowels, short vowels. Okay. How are you?
Oh my goodness. Thank y'all so much for having me.
Of course, we absolutely love your content and love your page. And I'm not going. I'm a sucker for pretty girls. I'm like, oh, I was like, just look at this girl. She's so cute.
Yeah, I didn't know before we even know what you did. We need her.
Oh, I love y'all.
Yeah. So thank you. So you definitely we love like Shanice said, we love your content, and we're going to get into more about that in a few minutes. But we love to have fun and play a game. So are you ready?
Dope. I'm ready to go.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay. So today is this or that, and the first one: cheesesteak or hoagie?
Cheesesteak.
Yes.
Yeah,
Me too,
that is
cheesesteak.
definitely. Yeah,
I'm just
I'm,
glad we
I'm,
wrote
I'm a
hoagie
Philly
down.
girl. I mean,
we know. That's why we had to go
Yeah, it's a
cheesesteak
vibe.
hoagie.
Philly
It's a
girls that say
vibe.
cheesesteak.
Yeah, and then the fact that I saw hoagie, I said, "Oh, hoagie, not a sub." I feel all like home and warm and fuzzy inside.
Just saying.
So when we first moved down here, I'm like, "What is a sub?"
But so I don't know anyone that calls it a sub, but that's only because all my family's from Philly. So
Okay.
I've always learned hoagie.
Yeah, when people say sub, and then I remember when we moved down here, I was pregnant. I asked for American hoagie, and they gave me a sub with nothing but American cheese.
Ew.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Now,
no.
first of all, I'm pregnant, and I'm angry, and then two, this doesn't even make it make sense.
I don't want that.
Right. Make it make sense. That didn't make no sense.
At all. And I called back angry. They're like, "Well, it says on the menu," and I'm like, "It does, but who reads?" Like, who reads when it says American? Okay, whatever.
Cut it out.
Okay, you want to do the next one?
So boardwalk fries or funnel cake? Oh, look at me messing up my hair.
Funnel cake for sure.
Yes, I'm with the funnel cake. What about you?
So I'm probably going to get boardwalk fries. Only because funnel cake, I get like 2 bites and then I'm done with it. But boardwalk fries, and then when I go down there, they put a little vinegar on them. Some things be hitting.
That's why I don't like it. I don't like the vinegar. I don't like vinegar. So anything one, I'm like, how do we get this combination of vinegar and fries?
It's everything.
Because I'm gonna be mad if my batch got mixed in with the wrong one, and I get a little twang. I don't like it.
Give me a little spice of life. Come
Yeah,
on.
but I love funnel cake. Absolutely,
do.
it's the powdered sugar and the fact that it's fried.
That is
and
true.
sweet.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it reminds me of a waffle. Now I'm happy.
Yep.
It is waffle-esque.
It is. Okay, so next one. Would you rather be the passenger or driver in the car?
Driver.
Okay.
I definitely would rather be the driver.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd rather be the passenger because I like to sleep.
So on a road trip, you're the sleeper.
I
And that's
try to
terrible.
be, but see, I can't sleep anymore as an adult because I don't trust other drivers.
See,
So
yeah.
I can't fall asleep unless like I've been drinking. So like, and even still, I'm one eye open. Like, we good? All right. I had enough driving. I keep trying to like tell the kids like, don't rush driving because now you're gonna be driving the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be passenger, and I don't do well in cities with the small roads. So.
I do better now. It was
You do.
It was a long time coming because I used to be like, if it's in Philly, I'm not coming because I can't drive.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I can't be staying here. Ain't nothing to do in Delaware. I'm going to Philly, so we're
Yeah.
gonna figure this out one way or
Yep.
another. And I ain't hit nothing yet, so just saying.
Won't he do it?
Yes, he
Won't
will.
he do it? Now I'll be the passenger. Like we keep like, I'll park the car.
Oh yeah, I can't park. I can't parallel
I got
park.
you on that, but just
Fun
drive us
fact.
up there, and then I got you.
I have definitely gotten out of my car so that the passenger could park the car. I can't parallel park to save my life.
Wow.
Embarrassing.
Yeah. See, I'm driving both of y'all.
And that's
Period.
even better.
Yeah.
That's even better. If I can be the person in the back where I don't have to worry about anything. You want a snack? I got you. What do you want?
Right,
I'll turn the
right.
snack
Change the
forward.
channel, music.
Yeah, I take
Aux
you.
cord.
You're good with the aux cord. So yeah, I don't like driving.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
So last one, toilet paper, over or under?
Now, see, I'm
Exactly.
trying to think about how it's sitting right now in my bathroom.
Or does it even matter?
You know what? It doesn't, because I don't pay
Same.
attention.
Exactly. Okay, that was a trick question. When I saw it, I was like, who cares? Just
Yeah,
put
it doesn't
on the
matter.
roll.
But I thought y'all was gonna say like folded or balled up.
Oh, like I mean, that is a
No,
question
that
too,
matters.
like, 'cause that does matter.
No, that matters.
Okay, so let's swap that question. Folded or balled up?
For sure, folded. I'm a
Yes.
neat. I'm a
Yes.
neat.
It has
Yeah.
to be. Well, that's not waste. Balled up is like,
Yeah, what are we doing
now
here?
what I gotta do with
That's
it?
chaos.
That,
Yeah.
that is an even better question because as far as over under, I just let's put it on the roll. I don't care. I just don't want it next to it,
No.
around it, near it.
No. I just don't want it on the floor.
Yes.
Okay.
I cannot stand toilet tissue on the
No.
floor. Like,
No.
ugh.
Who's using that?
That's why me and my partner have different bathrooms. Because I'm like, you man, I don't even want to use your toilet tissue. You can keep your
You
toilet
know, because I got questions that I don't want answers to. Awesome. So yeah, folded definitely. That's that is a question that I need to know on when I'm interviewing.
Oh, put that on your dating interview questionnaire.
Question number one. Forget everything. You ball up toilet tissue because you ball up. You're psyched out. You're a psycho. Psychotic.
Yeah, we're not doing that. So we can move into what's popping. So I don't know if all of y'all follow the JBP, the Joe Budden podcast, but why is this shit falling apart?
Because he's toxic. Joe Budden's toxic.
So Niema, do you listen to the Joe Budden podcast?
I don't, because I'm not really a fan of Joe, and I know people are like, what? But
honestly, I feel like a lot of people aren't
feel the same way.
No, his arrogance turns me off completely.
It's a lot. I will definitely say it's a lot. So, but I did enjoy watching the podcast. I feel like there are definitely things that he says, and I mean, even the others, they say, and they're a little toxic. But sometimes I'm like, I'm a little toxic, so who am I to judge anybody else? If somebody heard everything that I said, they might be like, oh, Shanice need to calm down too.
Right,
but
right.
I feel like they still talked about a lot of different things. It was entertaining. It was funny. But I don't like the way that it has fallen apart. And I think that in being friends and doing business, the bigger thing is respect. I think it's a great thing to be able to see friends work together, but I would never want our friendship to fall apart over a damn podcast.
No.
That's insane. And the last episode that he only did on Patreon, but then somehow it leaked because I'm not paying $10 to hear Joe be toxic. But for free, I'm going to listen for 2.5 hours.
Right.
So I did listen to it. He was wild toxic. He was trying to air them all out. He was telling Rory he was fired. Joe, relax.
He doesn't know that.
Relax.
Have you ever seen Joe Budden relax?
So hype. So hype.
He doesn't know what that means. He needs to come talk to me.
Yes.
Definitely. We need some meditation
in this episode. She's going to help you out because you need to bring it all the way down.
And it's so funny. I saw a meme where somebody was like, men sitting here looking confused, and the women been trying to tell y'all Joe Budden was a gaslighter and toxic for years, but y'all ignored us. Now look at y'all looking silly.
Yeah.
So
Fact.
yeah. Well, we'll see how the drama continues to unfold.
It's going to.
It will. And this is also toxic. You want to bring this one up?
Oh, Portia Williams dating Fallon's husband. After a month, she said, "That's not my friend," even though you went to her house met her husband, swam in her pool, got a favor for just coming over, like nice favors.
Correct.
And then he's friends with Dennis, her daughter's father, and it's just like, what are we doing?
If you want to square up, just say that, because I'm catching you outside because I don't know what we're doing, and I don't condone violence, and we're too old to be fighting. But if there was a time to fight, this is it.
Yeah.
Sis, you gotta come see me because this is the ultimate sign of disrespect.
Yeah.
You and your husband broke up. That's your business. That's fine. The whole bolo thing. I was like, sis, get it how you live. But this is too far. You can't be doing that.
Yeah, she's making us look bad because I had to Google her birthday because I was like, that's some Scorpio or Gemini stuff. And then I looked, I said, she's one of us.
This supposed to be my friend.
And then I tried to be like, well, you know, we tend to fall head over heels real quick. I can see the month. I said, but we don't do that trash. Not at all, ma'am. Not at all.
No.
So, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, first of all, let me just say, because I got to take up a Scorpio. Scorpios are super loyal. So I don't know what side of the bed.
I done made everybody mad today.
Exactly.
You know, I just think that we can't be too attached to stories because we all know like reality TV is, you know, somewhat scripted and somewhat staged. And y'all probably heard what Nene Leakes said about like the friendships, and like somebody else alluded to it too. Like her and Fallon weren't really friends. That was her angle to get on the show. And my thing was, I'm sure at some point through the taping though, y'all were cordial enough.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's definitely messy, but I still love Portia. You know, I still love Portia. She can't come around my man, but I still love her.
Right.
You know what? I can bang with that.
I know you
can. I can bang with that.
Yeah, so Portia, good luck.
Yeah.
But she's enjoying it too because she's just laughing and reposting all the memes and stuff. I'm like, you better than me.
You know why?
Like, look here.
Y'all know why? Because he worth a good 40 mil. So
he is.
He is cock-keying about everybody talking about her. She don't care.
Right. Could you see the one thing? This one girl popped up out of somewhere, and she was like, "Well, I was riding around with him on March 31st," and he was like, while he was still getting divorced or whatever, he said, "I got $50,000 for anyone that can
for receipts
and show me." I said, "50K, like it's a scratch off."
Okay, big
like, I'm sitting here like, well, how do I pull a receipt? Like, right. Sitting here like, let me put some ink in my printer real quick and see who I gotta mail this off to TMZ.
Right.
Like,
and if I was Portia, I would be like, if I was Portia, I would have been like, but did you get a ring though?
Right.
That's true.
And her ring is bigger than that.
That's true.
It's big.
How he and smoking with. Look, if everybody's happy, the baby's happy.
Right.
Live your life.
If Dennis don't care, why should we care? Fallon don't seem to care.
Right.
That's true.
It's a good storyline because now she has a spinoff.
I'm gonna just wait till next season when Kenya starts dragging her. I'm gonna be here for it. So
and y'all know what? Fallon is so cute. She could get her own dating show.
I think so too.
And maybe he'll have 60 now.
You know what's good, sis.
Go ahead and manifest that for her. Put that in the
Look, I'm getting it. Okay, so our pull-up topic of the week and why this beauty is here for mindful meditation. So again, May is Mental Health Month, and that's something that's very important to us. And so last week we talked about trauma. So now we're going to talk about tools to help us with trauma, with our day-to-day. We are still in the middle of a whole panorama.
Even though they're telling people take the mask off.
And y'all better keep them on. If you're around me, because absolutely not. I don't know how you're proving that you're vaccinated.
I don't know either. But Carney said the 21st, you don't got to wear no mask. That just happened.
Y'all do that. Have fun. Don't come around me 6 feet. Matter of fact, 10. Because now I really don't trust y'all. Gonna be wilding. No, thank you. So this is just another branch, I guess we can say, as far as with May, with mental health and how we can help alleviate the stress that we have going on. Like we say all the time, help us, help you, help us, because this, we're trying to say that this is to benefit everyone that watches this, but this is
selfish.
We need help. I'm very selfish right now. I should have brought a whole notepad. I'm just gonna have to replay the episode and be like, yeah, do that. So, first question is like, what is mindful meditation?
Okay, so I describe mindfulness meditation in like two parts, right? Okay. So there's the meditation, which comes first, And meditation is really the physical act to train your brain to connect with your body. I think a lot of times, all the time, like one, we're not even taught that that is a thing, like consciously, right? We're usually like, people normally like allude to like physical fitness, and then you allude to like mental health in your mind. But meditation is to bridge the two together, right? And meditation is it's a mindful way for you to ask your body, how are you doing? And so if you can get in a habit and a routine of like checking in on yourself, that's going to infiltrate your thoughts. And so, I mean, I could stay there for a minute, but let me keep going. And so the then the mindfulness part of it is like what happens after you meditate, like taking that peaceful centeredness into your everyday life, right? So you're like mindful about what you think, mindful about what you say, mindful about what you hear, mindful about what you do, how you treat others. Like you could literally just put the word mindful before everything you do. And you just live a lifestyle where you're just mindful about all of it. You know what I mean?
That definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
So really doing things with intention instead of just going through the motions of life, just like I'm here, I'm showing up.
Exactly.
Y'all get.
Exactly. And it's taking responsibility for just like what's happening around you. I think when we talk about mental health, a lot of us like start going down a slippery slope because we want to avoid the accountability that we've brought a lot of the things that are affecting us into our life. Right. So the mindfulness part is to be like, okay, I'm responsible for everything that's happening to me. I'm responsible for the energy I'm taking on and putting out. And so now I need to be intentionally mindful of everything.
Right. And that's actually a great way of putting it, because I know that it's our responsibility to be aware of how we're feeling, but the actual, to me, responsibility and accountability can be so different sometimes. So the fact of, okay, I know I need to check in with myself, but like literally, like you said, I'm going through this because I allowed this to happen, or I didn't allow this to happen, and actually taking ownership. Because I think a lot of times we're quick to say, well, you did this, or this happened to me.
Yes.
Right.
And actually, no, you were involved in that process somehow to put you in that situation, in that mental state. So see, already learning something off of one question.
Yeah, and I'm actually glad, because I want to make a clarification. I think we get into a habit of saying, like, why did this happen to me, or this happened to me? And when I work with my meditation clients, we really talk about that phrase and changing that phrase to like, it's not happening to me, it's happening around me. So let me give you like an example. Like somebody will internalize like, oh, my house caught on fire, like this happened to me. And I'm like, is it happening around you, like to the things that are, that are yours, that belong to you, but it's not actually happening to your being. And it's important to like separate those things so that we don't allow our environments, right, to affect how we ultimately feel and how we ultimately feel about ourselves. The computer was hating real quick. The internet connection was hating.
Because you were making sense.
They didn't want it to make sense.
They don't want this stuff to come out.
Exactly.
Devil.
No, I think that is actually a great point, though, because sometimes I feel like certain people, they internalize everything, and then they become obsessive about it. They just can't let it go. But if you say, this is not happening to me, this is happening around me, okay, well, how do we move past it now? Because it's not the end of the world, so we can still pick up, go forward. That is definitely something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that one phrase has changed how I live my life.
That's important, because I am people.
Yes, it's cancers. When I say people that do that, it's cancers. They're tough.
I'm gonna take that because I came at you earlier. But I'm not like most, okay, except for that part.
Yes, because y'all just have so many feelings attached to everything. And I'm just like, okay, like let's go ahead.
We're doing the best we can. It's a new moon.
Yeah.
We're doing the best we can.
It's okay, friend. So how did you even get started with all of this? Like, how did you just think like, oh, meditation, this is my passion, this is what I want to do, and this is my gift to share with the world and everyone around me?
Yeah. To make a long story short, I've always been like super ambitious with like everything that I've done, like just growing up, and like I ran track and I was a 4-time national champion and blah 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 blah, right?
Oh, come on with the flex.
I mean, we got a blah blah with that. I mean,
Yeah.
Sports Center.
Right. But I think I was raised to be so ambitious, but was not also given the tools to understand that the things that I'm like trying to attain are not also who I am. And so that distinction was never made for me. That was something that I had to like find out, right? So I feel like having a lot of success young, and then you hit 25, 26, 27, and then like real life is hitting. And I'm like, oh, like this thing is a little bit harder for me to get to. And now I'm down on myself. Now my self-esteem is being affected. Now I'm feeling like shit, like I'm not shit, right? Because I'm not able to get the kind of results that I want. And I think that kind of led me, along with my childhood trauma, into a depression. And I've always been an avid reader. So thank God for like reading is fundamental. Because I found meditation through the books I was reading. So every like Deepak and Michael Beckwith and even, and Oprah and all these people that I was always reading their books, it was a constant theme. So I'm like, well, let me try meditation because I don't want the therapy. The therapist told me wasn't nothing wrong with me. I was like, I go to church, I done talk to my grandmother. None of these things are helping, right? And not that I would knock those things, because at a period or different seasons in my life, all of those things, had its part. But through this depression, I think I really needed to just strip and get back to the basics, which is you versus you. Like I really needed to get back to like, who am I outside of my accomplishments, outside of my titles, outside of the things that I like want to do? Like, can I be happy just be, like to just be Niema? And I started meditating, and I tell you ladies, it was my medicine. It really helped me to get down to the bare bones and to just rebuild just like how I thought and who I thought I was. So yeah, that's how I got into it.
I love that, because sometimes I think that you're right. With a lot of people, their worth hinges on their titles, the money that they make, and so many other outside factors that really you have no control over. So if your self-esteem is always based on something else that someone else holds the key to, well, when that key gets stripped away, now what are you? Now what are you left with? And the nothingness can just be too much. Too much. But if it's all internal and it relies on you, then can't nobody take it. Can't nobody take it. But I feel like it's so hard to find that. Like the voices outside of yourself are just so loud. So loud. So to be able to even sit down and recognize that, I mean, that took strength in and of itself. So definitely kudos to you for that too.
Yeah. Thank you.
So this is yes. So meditation, most of the time when people think, and again, I don't want to speak for all, when you think of meditation, a lot of people think yoga, and me, it's just like, I can't bend, I'm not flexible. My trainer tries to give me, I'm like, I feel like, Monica, I'm a ball player. I don't bend like that. I can't meditate and think, because now I'm thinking, do I look crazy like this? Like, I can't go within if my leg hurts or I'm gonna twist it. So do they always go hand in hand, or can you just solely just be in because sometimes even I think like sometimes meditation is like a prayer, but like you don't have to be in some kind of like crazy contortionist kind of thing in order for it to happen, but does it always have to go hand in hand as far as meditation and yoga? Is that something that like
no. Like, I mean, I don't do yoga at all. I mean, unless I'm trying to do it for an activity Some
Okay.
people do it hand to hand. A lot of yoga instructors also teach meditation. But no, I use meditation as a form of, what I described to you guys. Like, I also use it as prayer too. Like, it is definitely my way to hear God. It's the difference between praying when you're like still being active, right? And then meditation is the silence part where you're being still and you're saying, okay, God, I'm a vessel now. I'm ready. Like, speak to me. Because you can't like hear God and talk to him at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
That is a good point. And actually, while we're there, that leads me into another point. So I feel like as a kid, a lot of times when we did hear about yoga or meditation, people are like, you can't just leave your mind blank. It's a devil's workshop. How do you change that stigma for people? Like, I feel like it's an old school mentality.
Yeah,
I don't know that really our generation believes that or buys into that at all. But like, how do you destigmatize that aspect of it for people who are like super religious and they feel like meditation is someone getting into their mind or playing with their mind, when really, if it's just about reflection, how do you get them on the right path to truly understand what this looks like and what this means?
Yeah. Well, first I tell them, there's different forms of meditation. I teach mindfulness. Mindfulness meditation is all scientific based. And I get into that in my workshops when I teach, and I always start with that so people really understand like the different, like what the state that your body is in, like fight or flight, what's happening in the brain, what chemicals are being released, like all that good stuff, right? So I cover that, and I've actually taught my workshops at churches. But the other thing that I demyth is that your mind is not supposed to be blank. You're training your mind to be intentional about one thought at a time. Right. So that's one portion of it. And then the other thing that I clarify with religious people is that every religion prays, right? But we all pray to somebody different. You're not going to not pray because Muslims pray. Right?
Exactly.
So meditation is the same thing. It's like, some Hindus, meditate to Buddha, right? Or whoever they meditate to, right? But what I teach is a form of meditation to tap into your own inner voice, right? And some people call that like your gut. Some people call it your intuition. Some people call it, trying to hear God. Whoever it is that you reference, it's still a form to channel in and to tap into the divine spirit. And I look at the divine spirit as being in all of us, and like we are divine. You know what I mean? And so it's a great way for you to understand your own voice, because a lot of times what we're fighting, like when they say the devil, it's really your ego. That is like a very, kind of like tangible thing to say. Our ego is really who we're fighting with, our pride, all of the things that cause us to, think that, we're more than what we are. Right.
Please humble yourself.
Humble yourself. And it's a way to keep that part of ourselves balanced. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that's a great point, and that's a great question also, because I think with our generation, we are doing a great job at being conscious about our mental health. And I think a lot of the older generation, when it's surrounded by religion, they just said prayer's enough. They don't believe in therapy or meditation or anything that can outside of religion, because that fixes everything. But it's like, if God didn't want you to be okay, he wouldn't create therapists. He wouldn't create these avenues where you can kind of go within yourself and just say, something's not right. I need to fix it. This is not working. I know you want me to pray. I've been praying daily. It's still not fixed. He wouldn't create this avenue. He wouldn't create the medicine. So it's like, I love the fact that our generation, even the younger generation, because they're really good at it. Recognizing that it's okay to have different channels and resources to kind of heal. Because there's a lot, even like we said last episode, there's a lot of generations they call them generational curses, where it's just really, you're not healed. The last generation didn't heal because you didn't have these resources, or you weren't aware of it, or you were just too afraid to actually be the first one to say, I'm gonna go take this way.
I agree.
Yeah,
I completely agree with that. And I feel like often religious people, they cherry pick the Bible, and that is a fundamental issue of lots of religions. Because yes, God told you to pray, but God also said faith without works is dead. So how come you just going to sit there and do nothing?
Yeah.
How come you can't fix it?
Right.
So you are able to try different avenues, and why not? Everything's going to be different for everybody. Like you said, therapy in and of itself, maybe that's great for some people, but you needed to find something different. Talking to your friends is great, but they are not professionals. Maybe you actually need a professional. Because even though your friends might say, like, okay, you were a little rude when you said that, you were wrong, at the end of the day, it's still your friend. It's still your friend. So they only got your side of the story, and they're not as removed from it as they probably should be. So I think that is definitely a big part of it. And I know we talked a little bit at the beginning about, I heard you mention manifestation. So can you tell us a bit about that? Because we're trying to manifest some things over here. We're trying to manifest greatness, keep this thing going, and money. I mean, we always want to manifest money.
You always want to make money, right? I think the easiest way for me to, because a lot of people are throwing that word around, and is really being overused right now. But I would say, there's a difference between like the law of attraction and manifestation. And the law of attraction is this idea of being able to attract money to, attract things that you want, right?
Yes.
When you think of manifestation, though, manifestation is a little bit deeper. Manifestation is you being open to drawing the experiences and things in your life that you are supposed to have. So it's not necessarily what you want. It's the things that are going to help elevate your gift, right? It's things that are going to help you feel more fulfilled, more happy, more peace, like more long-term gratification. Law of attraction is not solving any problems, right? Because you can attract to yourself. You can say, I really want this Chanel bag. I'm going to really, have the thoughts to attract it, right? But you could get a Chanel bag and it not give you anything internal.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so law of attraction is great because there's a lot of things that I'm sure we all want that we can learn how to attract to ourselves. But when I work with my clients and we talk about manifestation, I'm like, let's talk about what you really want. Like, what is your end goal, right? So that you don't have to keep trying to manifest things that really aren't going to get you to your ultimate path, which most people come to me because they're like, I want to wake up every morning and be happy about my life.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's
regardless of what I have or what I don't have.
Yeah, because that is the main thing. Because you're right. Everyone does say, let's manifest money. Some people are saying, let's manifest men. Good men or what? You just don't just manifest anything.
Don't just manifest anything, Bill.
Make it plain.
Yeah.
Make it plain. You better be very specific.
And I think it's important to know. Here's what I will tell beginners. It's important to know that you're manifesting whether you are doing it intentionally or not. Right? So with how you live your life, with your frequency, with your thoughts, with your energy, you are drawing things to you. And it's nice to learn about it so that you could be more intentional about what you're actually attracting to yourself.
Right.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And I agree. I think right now the word manifestation is a hot trigger, and it's something that's on trend. But truthfully, even I could think maybe we've been manifesting things since we're kids. We've always asked what's your goal in life?
Yeah.
True.
You work towards your goal.
Right.
So I think now to manifest, I can't talk. You know what I'm trying
to say. Allergies.
Yo, I'm really over here focused. And in my head I'm like, I hear echoes. No, it's just the ears. So to manifest things is to me it's to make it plain, it's equivalent to your goals, but it's energy attached to it, I guess.
Yeah, it is definitely. I mean, you can't manifest something you can work for. If you can work for it, you're not manifesting.
Okay.
You can't. You could be it's a difference between you saying I did. So I did a manifestation workshop back in April. And so for the purposes of the workshop, to kind of help my participants know that manifestation is real, I told them, I said, in 30 days, I'm going to manifest 7,000, I forget what it was, $7,100 and something dollars or whatever. And I'm like, but it can't come from my income. right? I can't come up with a plan in my head and say, okay, I'm gonna sell this many books. I'm gonna book this amount of like speaking gigs. In order to get the money. That's just setting a goal and going after it. Manifestation is actually setting your mind on something and saying, allow it to show up in my life. And you believe it so much that the universe aligns things to show up. So for instance, for me, in order to get that 7,000, I kind of forget how it came together now. But like I got 2 unexpected checks in the mail for something that I didn't even know I was going to get a check for. My brother ended up giving me like money from a deal that he did and never even told me. Like he said, I made this money on this. This is your part. Right. So it just kind of like came together in this way that I did not physically facilitate.
Right. Free flowing. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
So basically she's saying I should have had a brother and not sisters.
I have 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
Never ever. The most I get is my name mentioned somewhere. So
I just
we have the wrong siblings.
Oh,
doesn't matter gender.
Okay. Just checking.
But if you listen, love you. So I can see that because I think with me, I always say like, oh, for some reason, I think around 24, I said, yo, 33 is gonna be mine, and I no lie, I read it's like, yo, for some reason, I feel like 33, my Jesus year. I've been saying that, and it's just like, I mean, it's all right, feeling pretty good. It's better than other ones. Maybe
you didn't even get there yet.
I didn't, but the year of 33 is upon us. I'm just like, okay, everything is. I can start to see like things are lining up.
Yes.
Where it's like, okay, and nothing. I didn't like you. Now it makes sense because I'm like, well, I often question like, well, how? Because I really haven't been doing anything for it to really happen.
Yeah.
But that makes sense because it's like it says, it's free flowing where you're not really, when you put the work to it, sometimes I think you notice things and then you get upset and then you kind of block it because it's not happening the way you want to do it. But when your mind's not completely on it, everything just falls into place.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Look at that epiphany.
A light bulb just went off, and I'm partially like not here. Look at that.
So I want to know if you can tell us a little bit about your book because I'm super excited. I know that you have your new ebook out, You versus You, and I can imagine that it is full of gems because I definitely need to check it out myself. Yeah. It's definitely on my list of to-dos because I told you when we talked about fight versus flight a little bit on the last episode, and I'm definitely fight. So I probably, that Joe Budden comment that she made, I probably need to also be talking to her. So
I'll pay for her first view.
So yes, could you tell us a little bit about the book so that people can definitely check you out?
Listen, You versus You is a keep it by your bedstand for the next 5 to 10 years. Like it's one of those books that you're going to have to continue to revisit because it's really setting you up to own your journey. And I wrote it to give the reader like a 360 experience. So you're going to read the content, right? So you're going to read some shit that I'm like, this is how the mindfulness lifestyle will penetrate your life. Like, so I give like personal, real life examples of my life. And how I just had a paradigm shift with certain things. And I talk about my baby daddy. And I'm really laying it out there being like super transparent.
Super transparent.
To give my readers something tangible. They're like, oh, I'm seeing how Niema is using this mindfulness thing to like help her take responsibility for certain decisions she made. Right. And I thought it was because at first I think my first idea was to write a how to meditate book. And I said, nobody want to read that shit. Like if they don't want to meditate anyway, a how to meditate is not going to like draw them in. Right. I'm like, you need to write something that's real that people can relate to and help them understand how your lifestyle has, really changed your trajectory from where you were going. Right. So that was the idea. And then I also infuse what I call soul work. So my business is called Mind and My Soul. So at the end of every chapter, there's what's called soul work. So you're going to read the content and then you're going to go through some questions that kind of help you funnel through where you're at in this particular stage, like what it's talking about. And then after that, it's going to be an individualized meditation. So like the first chapter is like acceptance, like how to accept, because I think it's one thing to realize like, damn, I really played a part in this, right? And then you have to go through like that healing process, and like acceptance is part of it. So it's like, okay, I made these decisions. A lot of time when we make decisions that are not in our favor, we then feel regretful, right? So we kind of like go through these cycles. So the questions are going to help you go through that cycle and ultimately get to a place where you can say, I accept this, now I'm going to let it go. And every chapter is like that. So for my readers who don't meditate, you're going to get that guided meditation 6 times. And hopefully by the end, it exposes my readers to be like, okay, I'm getting where she's going with this. I definitely want to take more accountability for my life, and I want to live a life I don't need a vacation from. So I'm gonna start meditating now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That definitely is important, because I like when we first had this conversation, like, because I really don't know how to turn off.
Yeah.
Like in the back of my head, it's like, okay, yes, I'm focused on this, but groceries, laundry, kids,
yes,
life. It's just like, how do you turn that off? So that's good that at the end of every chapter, before you just move on and you got all this information, it's good that you can kind of have to say, no, put a period here, reflect.
Yep.
Practice before you move on.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of people, we get all this information, we're just like, good, I'm good to go. And it's like you don't absorb it. It's just like, people, are you listening or are you hearing?
Right.
We do things just
and especially when you're reading, you're just like, oh, I read it, got it. You're not really slowing down to absorb it and take it in and be like, this is how this is supposed to affect me.
Yeah.
So that's good that you kind of force the readers to be like, before you go, take it in.
Yeah. And I think too, the other thing that gets thrown around all the time is self-care. And people think that self-care is just running a bath with bubbles and drinking wine. But I think that recharging, taking time to reflect, thinking about being mindful, those are things that's some of the self-care. Like, yeah, the wine is good, the bath is good, but taking care of your mental capacity and your mental state so that you can continue to be better for yourself and the others around you. That's probably the best self-care that you can get.
And I think, let me add to the self-care piece too, because I think with everything that's okay, I think we all start saying, with everything that's going on in our country, I think with everything we've experienced in our families, in our households, in our relationships, if you were raised by the older generation, which I was raised by my grandmother, you're taught to just keep going. Right. So then we need, like, by the time we get to a place in our life where we're like, okay, I'm forced to really face some of these things that I've been through. Right. And then as you're living life, we're being traumatized by the things that we're seeing, by the things that are still happening, Absolutely. So our lifestyle now requires us, to consistently reflect and to deal with the trauma of our like nation.
Yes. Absolutely, because the PTSD is real. It continues to happen over and over again. And so I think people need to start understanding it's a non-negotiable now. It's not a negotiable thing. You have to take care of your mental health. You do. Because otherwise it's just going to be too, I don't know how you're going to get out of bed. It's just going to be too much.
And truthfully, all this is doing is shining a light on everyone's mental state. No one, no matter how glorified their life looks, no one is perfect. And now that we've all been forced to sit still and for over a year and look at ourselves constantly, we're cracked eggs. Like, Humpty Dumpty is on that ledge ready to fall back, and ain't no king's horseman around us to help us. You gotta figure it out yourself. So I agree. Like, it's be mindful.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, I absolutely love that. I know me myself, I need to do a better job of just I'm finding my way through life, because everything's good and I'm okay, and but no, like no, that's just not the case every day. But it's also hard because sometimes when you are that person, everyone just expects you to be bubbly and smiley and laughing and everything is good, and everyone comes to you with their problems, and it's just like, okay, guys, I myself got to take a step back because the world is just going crazy around me, and I don't know what's going on. So I can't be the rock for everybody else.
Right. And meditation is definitely going to give you that way to decompress.
Yes.
You know, so that you could come to the table with your cup filled instead of trying to give from an empty cup.
Absolutely. So what would you say then for beginners like us, like the first 3 things walking away from this conversation to get started, besides buying your book, because that needs to happen. Stop playing with her.
Yeah.
Her book. So besides that,
we support Black women on this podcast.
Absolutely. So
yes. So I will be looking for y'all. Your name will pop up in my PayPal. I'll be looking for it. The first thing that I would say is make a commitment to yourself that you are important enough to take time out. Period. Okay. Right? Because if you don't make a commitment to it, like anything else, like I'm committing to taking care of myself first, right? You have to do that, because then it's going to be cute for a minute, and then you go, 6 months will go by, you'll be like, oh, when was the last time I journaled? When was the last time I asked myself how I was doing? You know what I mean? So first I would say make a commitment because you are worth it. And the second thing that I would say is just know what works for you, right? If helping you heal is just writing, then do that. Like everybody's thing is different. Like some people are just more creative. Like my bestie's a singer. Like she loves to write music. She loves to sing, and that's how she gets her soul release. So it's like be true to yourself. Be true with what works for you. I know for me, meditation is it. Like I just my like mental health will be hanging on a thread. If I miss a week of meditation. But for some people, it's like I have to work out, and they know that's true to themselves. But they'll let their life get busy. They'll let their kids, schedules take over. They'll let their work schedule take over, and then before they know it, they're like, "Damn, I done gained 15 pounds. I haven't been in the gym. I haven't gone for a walk." So I would just say, figure out what it is that speaks to your soul and do it often.
I do love that. Because you're right. Sometimes your thing, everyone else thinks is no big deal. For instance, like when the pandemic hit and then the gyms were closed. I can't sleep. Like I need to be able to have that outlet and have that release. Yeah. So no, I think finding your thing is definitely important.
So those are good tips, and I definitely appreciate this conversation, because now I'm gonna have to go on home and replay this while I'm editing and be like, okay. Before I help y'all, help me.
Yes.
So, you ready to get newsy?
Yes, let's get newsy. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have seen, but Felicia Rashad was named the dean at Howard University, and I'm so pumped for her. Like, to see her in all of her Black excellence glory go from actress to dean at the HBCU is important. It's impressive. It is powerful, and I think it's the example that we need for ourselves. We need for our kids. We need for the Black community. Like, you don't have to just be one dimensional. Okay, I can't talk either. You can be multifaceted, because you don't I'm great at this, but also this is the next thing I don't want to say at the end of her life, but I mean
her life cycle,
her
later life cycle.
in her later years to still be accomplishing things. I think that all too often with our generation especially, we're like, we want it now, we got to have it now, and if we don't have it now, we're failures. No, you have time. You're never too old to keep accomplishing things, keep killing it, keep working for it. And who doesn't love Felicia? Claire. Y'all better put some respect on Claire's name.
I was watching Creed last night. Like, Miss Johnson.
Yeah, and she be in This Is Us. Yeah. Like, where does she find all this time to do all of these things?
She about her coin.
Yes.
But then also people recognize her. Yes. They recognize her talent. Like, she's so, like you said, she's so versatile. You can literally put her in any role and she crushes it. Yeah. 110%. So what does it say? Like, she knew her assignment. She knows her assignment at all times. And then even recently now she's been doing some project. recently she's been doing some roles that are out of character. I can't.
Oh, I haven't seen
Where it's
them.
like she played the one movie on Lifetime. This guy was crazy, or his own. He was crazy, and like she was the mama that helped him be crazy, like kill people. I said, not
Oh.
Claire, not today. It was a Tyler Perry movie. It was a Tyler Perry movie, but still, I was like,
Oh,
no,
wait,
ma'am.
I did see that.
Yeah, but she had another. It was like two back to back. I'm like, okay, you trying to change your image, but I like Claire. You're scaring me.
Let her do her. She can do no
Yeah.
wrong. Loretta Devine can do no wrong. Y'all do what y'all want.
Yes.
There's just some Black Hollywood that I don't care. I'm gonna follow them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Kudos to you, Miss Rashad.
Yes, this episode was amazing. So
Yes.
tell the people where they can find you, Niema. Because we'll still put your link in bio, but I know
you
y'all
can
gonna
follow me on
following her.
IG at Minding My Soul Meditation. If people are in the tri-state area, I'm going to be having an in-person meditation on May 23rd. So that's like in a week and a half from now. And some breaking news, this actually will be my last in-person meditation that I will be promoting myself, because I'm actually going through some rebranding, and I'm going to be kind of moving away from promoting the meditation part of my business and just move into full speaker mode. And so,
Oh,
yeah.
You heard it first.
Yeah, look at this breaking news.
Yes.
Well, congratulations. That is
Yes.
awesome.
Thank you.
That
Thank
is
you.
definitely awesome. So yeah, we definitely will go ahead and tag her in any and everything. Make sure that you go get her book, You versus You, because this is information that our community, our generation, just everyone truthfully needs to be aware of. So we just thank you so much. You were awesome.
Yes.
So what we not finna do?
What we not fitting to do? We not fitting to be not taking care of our mental health. We're not fitting to be not actually taking time to be mindful and intentional about everything that we have going on in life. And we're not fitting to be blaming religion on why we out here being toxic.
Hey,
fix it.
You know what?
Fix it.
And on that note, make sure you play yourself. Don't play us. Or Niema, go get her book ASAP. Until next time, bye.